asked Jem to walk on? Walk on Jem. If you just warm up in the arena whilst we get Daly sorted.
Introducing a new child to a horse, you know, at first I thought she just knows, she seems to know what to do, and you know, some children can just get off on the horse straight away, some children might need to touch the horse and brush it first.
She's so good with working with the kids. She doesn't let them, you know, get away with anything. She's really firm but fair, and they love her for it because they know, like, oh, you know, here's Laura, we've got to do what we're told now, and it's really good. That's the best way to work with the kids because that's how you get the most out of them.
We've got a new rider who really responds to high 5 or high 10 at the moment, and I took her for a first ride and then Laura did the second one, and she just gets it in at the right time, does the praise at the right time, just is just so switched on, and all the riders are different.
And it was really clear that there was something else going on, so she said, right, let's just take it back. Let's not push on at this point, because this point is tough for him. Let's get back to the basics and let's build again.
Just treat them like any other rider you've taught in your lifetime, and you know, don't think of what they might not be able to do, think of what they can do, which is usually so much more.
And I guess that follow-up from her is good because it enables us to see the progress, because even though we're here every day or every week seeing it, sometimes actually seeing something being crossed off on paper, you're like, oh wow, we really have achieved that. So that makes a big difference. And just knowing that they're constantly keeping on top of it and growing these kids, it's not just the pony ride.
Spikey wouldn't go over the poles. He doesn't have any issues anymore, so she's just patiently and calmly working with the horses, which a lot of volunteers don't actually see. You know, the horses are really happy. I mean, the management of the pastures, the feeding, their well-being, everything's just awesome.
She's extremely open-minded with what might be good for the horses, and letting them get out and about and doing fun things that, you know, will just clear the horse's head so they can still enjoy doing the work in the arena. And yeah, she's obviously does an amazing job at coming in at all hours and schooling them and taking them for hacks and, you know, doing lots of different things with them.
She did it the first time, but not the second time I had to.
The biggest thing with the horses is that they have to do stuff outside of RDA. They have to get out of the arena, they have to go for a hoon up the hill, they have to be lunged somewhere else, maybe do a bit of jumping, go on the float and go for a ride out somewhere, maybe go and have a holiday over the summer break in a different paddock. Just that variety is just so important for them. So, you know, if they all get out of the arena 3 times a week, then that's super. I'd prefer it more than that, but that's sort of on the wish list. But they do get a lot of work outside of RDA, which is great.
I think that she runs a good team as well. It's got to come from someone, doesn't it?
The volunteers need to feel comfortable to sort of come forward and make suggestions about riders and horses, and or bring up an issue with me about themselves or another volunteer. And I feel that it's taken me a while to get to that stage, definitely. You know, you've got to build up trust with the bodies and the horses and the riders, and vice versa.
I took your advice about the signing thing, and we've decided that maybe he's actually right-handed.
Yeah, and she's just really open-minded with the way that she works with the kids and the horses. Like, any ideas that any of the volleys have, no matter if they're new or have been here for years, she'll always take them on board.
In terms of doing my assistant coaching, Laura's very encouraging, even though I'm a bit reluctant, and she's giving me opportunities while I'm here if anything comes up that is a little different. For example, learned how to take a horse's temperature, which Laura deliberately made sure I got the opportunity while I was here to have a go, because I hadn't done it before, so she's always looking out for
things that I could do.
I think for her coaching style, she's very pragmatic. This is what it is. I want this and this and this and this with the riders and with the volunteers. She's also very strength-based. She'll say, do this, and she expects that people can do it.
Yeah.
She doesn't distrust their ability. She gives people a chance, which I think is really cool.
Her compassion for the kids and the job and her commitment and dedication, like she's just always here all the time. I come, no matter if I come here really early in the morning or really late in the evening, I'm like, oh, you're still here. Yeah. She's just always, you know, planning sessions or doing extra things or working with the horses, and she's just, yeah.
Why do you think Laura should win the Coach of the Year award?
I think she is relatively young in the RDA coach world. I think she's worked incredibly hard to find out about disabilities, how do we maximise people's experience when they ride with a disability. I think she has learnt a lot about how to manage volunteers. She's learnt a lot about our riders and the things that make them unique, and also the things that make them want to go on and learn to ride.
I guess I wasn't at all concerned by what was written down on a piece of paper as like what the disability was, because I didn't understand it. I could go research it and find out, but I just found it easier just to put them on a horse, see what they could do. Obviously if there were any, you know, things I needed to be aware of with riding on some of those, but just found it much easier just to put them on a horse and see what they're capable of.
What would you say has been your proudest moment or the biggest achievement for you that you've just gone, yeah, that was awesome, job well done?
I don't know if there's one thing. There's probably a couple. Like, for example, over the weekend when the riders were at the Special Olympics, I mean, just seeing riders that I used to coach that are still able to ride for Special Olympics is available to them, and just, you know, knowing that what we were doing with them in those early days and teaching them and, you know, supporting them to do, they're still able to do, and they're able to progress on for that. So that was a really cool thing. The Facebook message from an ex-rider just came totally out of the blue, and he was such a character, and just to have that random message and him showing his appreciation for RDA was like, I was stoked about that. That was just awesome. I won't forget that at all.